You want to be a blessing to somebody? Well, it's easier than you might think. As you know, in July, my dad passed away, and that began a process of mourning for me that has been ongoing in my life. Lydia was also close to him, and so she's mourning his passing as well, in a different way, but still very significant. And along the path of mourning, we've received a number of cards and emails and texts of condolences. Each one very personal, to help us through this mourning process, as you would. Each card was very different, but each one was handwritten. Emails were and texts were very personal. It was just so nice. Just an abundance of outpouring of your love and support for us. I could stop there and say, hey, that's how you could be a blessing to somebody. Because receiving those cards really was special, and it encouraged Lydia and I tremendously. However, allow me to take you into one card with a historical blessing. I was in grade 1 or 2, can't remember, and I had a Sunday school teacher who loved the kids, and each week worked to minister effectively by preparing to teach each class that she had full of these kids, these little young kids. Now, she's not too long after that, she moved to Florida, got married, but she continued to stay in contact with our home church through family and friends. And in 1998, Lydia and I visited her in Florida on a family vacation. Fast forward to the present, and we received a card of sympathy, of condolence from her. It's over 20 years since we've even spoken to her or thought of her. Inside this card, she included a small handwritten note. Now, the note was from a little 6-year-old boy, me. When she was my Sunday school teacher, mine and Lydia's actually, I wrote this note to her. Allow me to read it. Dear Auntie Esther, how is your family? I am in 1st grade in 7 weeks. I will be in grade 2. Love, Lewis. This is Lewis. And I drew. As I sat there and read it out loud with Lydia by my side, I remembered the impact that this Sunday school teacher had made on me. And as a result, this little note that I wrote her. She's kept it all these years. She told me in the card that she kept a photocopy of it for herself because she didn't want to part with it. This little note, this caused me to start tearing up. Not because someone kept a note that I sent to them years ago, but because someone invested in me when I was a little child. My Sunday school teacher cared enough about me in the class of kids to plant eternal things in our lives by teaching us each and every week. There's nothing better we can do than to invest in eternity in someone else's life. I began this word of encouragement with a question. Do you want to be a blessing to someone? If you do, invest in their life. It could be a child, it could be an adult friend, a spouse, a neighbor, a coworker, a parent, or the list goes on and on of who it could be. Do something of eternal significance for them. So here's an idea. You could pray for them. Not just a regular prayer, but a prayer asking God how you can bless them. Then stop and listen to Him speak to you like we've been doing in church at the end of the messages. And then respond to what He says to do and do it. Last Sunday, Carol Weber told us a story just like that, in a sense that she listened to God. She put $100 into an envelope and she prayed for God to show her who to give this $100 to. And then she obeyed. Now, unlike my Sunday school teacher, Carol might never know what the gift meant or what kind of blessing it was to that stranger in the parking lot that day that God directed her to give the $100. But she did something of eternal significance. She obeyed God's prompting from a simple prayer. God showed her who to bless. You want to be a blessing to someone? It doesn't have to be with money. It just starts with a desire to do something eternal in someone's life. Pray. Ask God who you could bless. Listen for an answer. And if you don't get the answer right away, listen. And then do it. Be a blessing.